what it does for me.
Yeah,
personally.
just the sun. I think if I don't get sunlight and movement every day, I will crash out. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. We're just talking about the spring. It makes us have a pep in our step. I feel alive. I feel blessed. I feel big and boisterous and happy to be here.
All right, let's pull back a little bit. I don't know if we should be that excited
All right,
about
get
right
the
now.
gun out again. All right. No.
I'm glad you feel that way. That's wonderful.
Then your birthday's going to come up soon because you're an Aries queen.
I am an Aries queen, that's for sure.
What are you going to do for your birthday? Light yourself on fire again?
Oh God, I wish I was doing that this year. No, honestly, that retreat's happening right now. I'm missing it this time around, but maybe next time, hopefully. We're supposed to be seeing Nick Cave. We'll see if that happens or not.
Is he a magician?
You asked me this? No.
What
How
is
dare you?
Who is Nick Cave?
He's a music man.
Oh, okay. Is he like country or like rock and roll?
He's like, I would call him. He's got like a little bit of a country side to it, but it's like very gothic, melodic, kind of rock and roll-ish.
Okay.
He's a goth guy.
Oh, so you can wear like spandex pants and like a cowboy hat?
I think you're thinking of more like a Motley Crue, which is not necessarily what he's doing.
I could see you rocking Motley Crue.
Nick Cave, what can I compare him to? He's like,
I just think of Mind Freak. I don't know why.
It's not.
It's not Mind Freak?
I wonder why you connect those, because I mean, they have similar energies in some ways.
Yeah?
I have seen Mind Freak, the live magic show in Las Vegas, but I can't quite connect why
Oh.
there's Nick Cave. I am certain you know some of his songs.
Okay, there he is. He looks like the guy that sings Pink Moon is on its way. Pink Moon.
No, you're just thinking that because that's
Why am I thinking?
Drake.
Guys, I have Alzheimer's. I have early onset Alzheimer's. Mind freak. I can't wait till we all get Alzheimer's and we're just like in the nursing home, like I'm gonna crash out.
Who's Nick Drake?
Drake sang that song, Pink Moon.
Who's the? Is he?
He was like a folk singer.
Is he old?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. who
Sad
that is.
goth country vibes with a U. Country cunt. I like it. Well, Natalie, I hope you have a wonderful time.
Well, we'll see if it happens. We're supposed to get tickets through the management team. But a lot of times they make promises and then they forget about it. And then they're like, you're not important enough for us to remember this. Fuck you.
Just tell them it's your birthday and stomp your feet.
It's my birthday. It's my birthday.
my
They
birthday.
love when I do that.
That's right. You get to do that once a year. Stomp your feet and say, it's my birthday.
I enjoy birthdays. I know some people have a hard time with birthdays. I think they're fun. It's like excuses to have cake. You can kind of like make people do what you want for like a couple days. You can just choose what everybody has to do. And I think that's fun.
That's fun. You brought us to a birthday in Florida, but it was like out in the swamps and it had like a water slide. And
That sounds like you do have Alzheimer's.
yeah.
It sounds like you had a dream and you're like, and you were there?
And there was a water slide, and I stayed in the Rocky room. I stayed in the fighting room. But yeah,
I slept on a boxing ring.
I did, and it
But
was.
she did. That's real.
That's real. Gosh, it's gonna be so fun when we're all in the old folks' home together.
I can't wait. I'm not doing that. We're not doing old folks home. We were just talking about this because there's the I think it was on Netflix, a Blue Zone special, which is essentially where the most centrogenarians, is that the word?
Yes, it's like
live?
Northern California because they have some kind of.
There's actually one right outside of LA.
Really?
Yeah.
And they just live forever because they think they eat a lot of grains and they talk to each other a lot.
So many of those areas, they have communal living with the elderly. It's not retirement homes. They like have their own village where they all help each other and they climb. They have to walk up hills a lot. And they have if you can squat, that's always very helpful. But it's really just that they have fun with each other and they like
Yeah.
move.
That's
And they
so
help each other
important.
and they garden. A lot of them. There's I think one in Japan where they are all like they're all down on their hands and knees gardening and they're like in their 90s, you know. So that's what's good for you.
That's what's really important. I went and saw my mother recently. She's doing better, but I do think that her and where she is, they like to sit down a lot and they like to get angry at the news and they like to just eat fried food, and it's not good for you. Who would have thought?
You know, somebody better tell RFK, our czar of health.
Oh, we got some notes. Natalie, I just need you to know I've been consuming nothing but SPUN and Mormon stories all this week because of you.
Uh-oh, you're getting indoctrinated into hating on the LDS Church, I guess?
No hate to the church itself. It's mostly, like, the people I'm sure are fine. It's just a lot of the, some of the parts of the organizations where they take your money. 10% of your income.
10%, baby.
No.
I mean, sincerely, whoever was clipping the show, it's like they put in the clipping the episode we did with last podcast. It's like, in this economy, you're giving them 10% of your income in this economy? No. No.
But we have a full episode of not jokes, gosh darn it. We have a full episode today of things to discuss.
iCarly, you're going to midsummer yourself when you get to that age. Listen, I'm not against that. I think you should have full autonomous decisions over your body. I'm only saying because in midsummer, I think, what is it, like 70 something when they jump? 70, middle 70s?
Yeah, that's still young. Like, you still have some gardening to do.
Yeah. Nowadays, if we don't have a full societal collapse, I feel like in your 70s, you can be like pretty bouncy, like having fun, you know? 70s. That just made me think of, I was watching that new show called Hollywood Demons, which is kind of corny, and they have Dr. Drew on it for some reason, which made me almost turn it off immediately. But they're covering different bad people in Hollywood, and the first episode is about the guy from Seventh Heaven, Steven something. The dad. You guys know. I'm sure most of you know about the dad from Seventh Heaven.
Is he the one that was like, you've been smoking pot?
Yeah, did you ever watch it?
A little bit, yeah.
Stephen Collins is his name.
I thought it was corny even when I was a Christian.
You know, it was fun for how absurd it was.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was so corny, it was kind of entertaining to watch. And it would get real weird sometimes. It'd kind of like they'd be like huffing paint and stuff like that, you know? But yeah, that guy, he ended up being, not surprisingly, a thing that you would imagine. Whatever you think a guy would do who might have power over people, guess what he did?
He assaulted underage girls.
Yay, you win the prize of that information that you can just think about later.
I wish I was wrong one time.
Yeah, I wish I was wrong too.
Like, no, Amber, he actually helped all the animals.
But he so after that all came out in the, like, I think 2015 or so, I forget what year it came out. He actually is married to one of his super fans who's 40 years younger than him, but he's 77. He's doing great, guys. So if he can do it, I say you keep going.
Yeah, keep going. Somebody said you can be president at that age. You can keep going.
Maybe not. Maybe we shouldn't be at that age. But, you know, actually, I'm not even trying to be ageist. I do think that there should be a cutoff, maybe. But I think a lot of older people, this is the thing I keep saying, too, about people in the LDS church who are trying to make decisions for laws in our country who don't participate in society. It's like, if you're going to want to do that, you have to, like, be a part of culture. So if you're going to be an older person making laws for people, you can't sit in your little tower and go like, no, because you don't know what's happening. You don't know what's going on. So if you want to be that age and do that, maybe, I don't know.
Take the bus once in a while.
Listen to some pop music. Put some Doechii on.
Yeah.
Okay? Listen, find out what the kids are doing.
Don't just look at me and be like, why is this woman talking?
Happy Trans Day of Visibility. Yes, trans people will always be here no matter what people say. 100%. I should have said that right at the top. Red Age Prop. Trans Day of Visibility. They ain't going nowhere. They've always been here. And people can fucking get over it, I guess. Like, I don't understand. I literally cannot understand the obsession some people have. Especially a certain author. It makes me so sad.
Oh, as a scapegoat. Yeah, well, you got to have a scapegoat to be like all those people.
Yeah, it's true. I do think a lot of it is scapegoat stuff. It's obviously deeply entrenched in patriarchal misogyny and all that. But
because you have to define exactly what a woman is, because you have to know who You have to know who to put in the little cage.
And yeah, nothing is more protecting women than doing genital checks on people. That's always.
Especially like girls. I am 18, a true super fan. When you ladies hit 90s up, hit me up. Orange Otter Pop. Oh, hey.
90 plus over here. I love that. Yeah, so let's see. What horrible thing should we start with?
Well, we do always like to. I don't like to say that. We don't like to start the show. We start the show with discussing a missing person, simply because that's what our podcast is platformed on, missing women and children. So I would like to point out Melissa June Besson. She went missing on the 17th of this month, March 17th, in Wisconsin. And I'm going to try to pronounce it. It's a French name, Lac du Flambeau, around Lake Superior. She is an indigenous woman. Any information regarding Besson's whereabouts should call the Lac du Flambeau Tribal Police Department at 715-588-7717. I'm going to look up exactly 5'7", medium build, brown hair, brown eyes, numerous tattoos, including arms and legs. Last seen near the Wayman Lane State Highway 47. I believe she was hitchhiking on the highway, as many people do in that area. Yeah. Unfortunately, cars are kind of hard to come by. I don't even have one, but it is very, very dangerous. So please, if we could just show the graphic one more time about what she looks like and the number to call.
Yeah, we can just pop her up there. Thank you. I don't know if you can zoom in at all, but
Melissa.
That's why public transportation is so important and not adequate everywhere. It was one of the first series we ever did, was the Highway of Tears in Canada.
That's right.
And sometimes the hitchhiking is literally because there is no other options.
There's no other option.
Somewhere, and that shouldn't be the case.
And how much are cars now? What, like?
They're going up.
They're going up.
They're going to be going up.
So. I don't know. I'm a big fan of public transportation myself. Took it to get here, in fact.
I know.
Well, we got a lot to discuss on the show, but if you are in the Wisconsin area, please
keep
be
your eyes
on the lookout
peeled
for this lovely young lady.
I actually forgot. I have this on my list, and I don't have enough covered. I haven't gone through it enough because we're so deep in. But I'd love to talk about Emily Pike too, which is a young girl who was found in a very horrific state. She was, I believe, 17, and she was also an indigenous girl who didn't get her missing case didn't get a ton of attention. I unfortunately didn't know about it until after the body was discovered, and it is now picking up attention because of the horrible state her body was in. So I would like to maybe talk about her. Maybe we can do that next episode, just because I want to make sure I cover it correctly.
Of course, get all the information right. We'll gather the crumbs of what we can discuss. And something I've been wanting to discuss lately is the use of AI, because it's happening. And I always thought of it as like, remember when Will Smith was eating spaghetti? And it was so funny. He's like, Will Smith, he's not eating spaghetti. And it was 12 fingers, and it was all weird. And now it is very, very realistic. And you could say, like, who cares? What's that? It's going to open up jobs. It's going to create a new market. Who matters? Who cares? A lot of it. One, I have personally seen a lot of videos that were very racially targeted, and I'm not going to say who the company is, because right now you don't know what's AI and what's not. It is simply up to the discretion of the content creator to say what is. But the way these videos are propagandized, I would say this is most definitely AI. So we're going to start seeing a lot more of that and pushing a lot more people to a certain direction.
I feel like one of the biggest things we're going to face with that is, some kind of push to enforce, it being flagged as AI, which is not the case right now. And I think that as it gets better, we're all as a society going to be able to understand tells more. But I do feel concerned about certain demographics of the country, specifically a lot of the elderly folks who are already falling for a lot of things, being more confused because
Yes.
they're not. Sometimes some boomers don't want to learn new things. They don't like to learn. They don't want to be told what to do.
No.
And
And sometimes if you're on like a hateful website all day and that's just how your brain is starting to form, and then you see a video that just sort of confirms your hateful bias, even if it's AI or not, I could sit there and tell you this is AI and it's not even going to matter because it's confirmation bias.
right, and they don't want to check. I mean, ultimately, if
don't
it
wanna
is
check.
like feeding that dopamine, it
Yeah.
probably they don't even want to know if it's fake. Or not.
Right. So right now we're kind of in this uncharted world where anybody can make a video, and let's show
We're AI.
Sorry.
We're AI.
We're AI. We're not real. Let's show the video of the man I sent you. So this guy does, you know, in raves and EDM, all those like giant orbs that are like, and like the lights and there's like looked really cool. So there's like a few guys that do that and they're really good at technology. This is a Swiss guy, I think. But just take a look at this video. Look how real this is.
Guys, I know this might sound insane, but this video is fully generated by AI. First, I trained an AI in 11 labs to speak like me, so I can input any text and it will sound like me. Then I trained HeyGen with a video of mine. I input the audio file to generate a video based on my text. The video you are watching right now is the result, 100% generated in AI. What do you think of that?
You know, it's funny. He kind of just reminds me of the AI. Reminds me of dudes who don't know how to talk to women.
Yeah. Just like the real life. Yeah.
Just like eyes darting around. Just like,
And they don't take a breath. So it's like those little bitty,
yeah, it is.
very minute.
You would have to be looking. Like if you didn't tell me that was AI, I wouldn't be paying enough attention.
I'd be like, oh, this is a guy on the internet. But you know,
If you say it's AI and you say, look at him, I could say, oh yeah, the way his like eyes are drifting is weird here. But I would never like go into it that far to think about it.
no, you would just be like on the scroll page, like, oh, I guess another guy. Who cares? But also, again, who cares, right? You can take other people's faces and make them do things. Here's one where somebody's doing in real time an OnlyFans. Let's check this out. So the guy's on the bottom right.
Yeah.
That's in real time. And that's just a dude. And again, that's not a real person they put over the face, but you can use my face, Natalie's face. and
Let's
then
not give them suggestions.
Let's not get them suggested. And have perfect tits, big old fat swinging pussy hanging out. I mean, you could, I guess, if you wanted, but don't do that.
Please don't.
Please don't do that. But you can, they could do that. They could take a unsuspecting girl's face and then
Show me flying a plane. You know, show me doing something really amazing. Like, what else is there good?
No, it always goes to weird sexual stuff. And I hate that that's how sex and war usually gets things done or like invents new things. And I hate
And
saying
it also
that.
drives the culture. I mean, that's like since the dawn of time, unfortunately. And it is, you're right. Like, that's what the scariest part to me about it is what that is going to do to children, what it's going to do to people's brains who are already brain rotted. We cover on the LDS stuff, the season that we have heavily researched that we're in the middle of, about how they're like obsessed with the idea of sex addiction and porn addiction. And the way they feel it is not accurate to mental health professionals' take on it, even though some of those people are credited therapists. Mm-hmm. They're still operating in this sort of weird sex addiction realm, which isn't a real diagnosis. If you are porn addicted, it would be more like a compulsive disorder. But that being said, there's obviously this extremely nuanced conversation about especially young people getting so desensitized by not being spoken to about like how to moderate yourself in any way that is a problem. Like it is a big problem to not have the connection of like skin to skin with somebody and just have these ideas of what sex is from a really young age. And I feel like AI is going to make it a little bit worse.
It's going to make it worse. It's sort of like giving a toddler a gun, which is what we're doing. Because
We also do that.
We also do that. Get more kids guns. Let's give the kids some guns. Dave Kronberger says, is AI going to start capturing imagery and video of AI-created people to feed their algorithms and wind up with a Habsburg AI like you get with a generative
like a
AI?
Habsburg. You mean like inbred? Like the substance kind of?
Oh, it just repeats itself and like no humans exist anymore?
That's kind of fun. It might be kind of interesting, at least. It's a good script. You should write it.
Should write it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's a lot of people that, here's a case of a teacher that used AI generative of his students to take pictures.
Yeah, this is rough, guys. This
is rough, and they're going to use some language that's, I think it's a bit, the news, they don't say C-scam.
I feel like at this point I'm annoyed when I hear them saying CP because it's 2025. This has been around now for at least 5+ years.
Yeah.
Now hearing people say CP the full way out makes me feel gross. Like
it does, because children can't consent to that. But here's the clip.
An Austin ISD teacher has been arrested for a second time on child porn-related charges, this time involving the use of AI and photos of his own students.
This comes as a new bill moves forward in the legislature to crack down on explicit material generated by AI. We want to warn you, some of the details you're about to see here are disturbing.
It's not something you want to hear about happening at your school.
50-year-old Carl Inman, a 5th grade teacher at Baranoff Elementary School in Southwest Austin, is accused of taking real photos of his students and using artificial intelligence to turn them into child porn.
It's just incredibly unfortunate that that's going on with school-age kids. I mean, it's just awful.
Inman was first arrested last Wednesday and charged with possession of child pornography. DPS says he admitted to downloading 126 explicit files from the internet. Inman was released on $75,000 bond, but he was arrested again Friday night on even more shocking charges. In an email to parents this weekend, Baranoff principal Alex Hassett said those charges stem from AI-generated materials he created using photos of students within his classroom.
With everything that we get technology-wise, we get benefits, but we also get detriments as well. And unfortunately, those who are looking to prey upon people find it through those methods.
An arrest affidavit mentions 2 students, both 10 years old, whose classroom photos were used, but the principal suggesting there may have been more. Quote, police are working to identify and inform any families involved. We do not yet know the extent of students involved.
It is horrific how common this is becoming, that it is spreading.
This comes as the Texas Senate just passed a bill last week that would make AI-generated child porn a crime, even if it doesn't depict a real-life child.
Why is
if a
that already
reasonable
not?
person looks at that image and says, yep, that's a child, then we're able to take action.
As for Inman, he's out on bond again, ordered to stay away from children and stay off the internet. He's been placed on leave and recommended for termination pending a vote by the school board. Meanwhile, the district will be providing counseling for Baranoff students when they return from spring break.
I'm glad they found out about this person and removed them.
We did reach out to Inman's attorney, who declined to comment. Inman is due in court April 10th.
Yeah, so the second time. So it is illegal to make any pictures of children in C-scam from AI. Illegal. But it's more criminally investigated in some places than others. So some states that do not have C-scam for child.
It's CSAM. I'm sorry. I don't mean. I don't
know why my brain is scam. C-SAM.
I love it.
Some states that do not include AI computer generated images in their it's illegal, but it's not criminal. It's so weird, but do not. Alaska, Arkansas, Arizona, Colorado, Louisiana, Maine, Massachusetts, Montana, New York, North Dakota, Ohio, South Carolina, Vermont, and Washington, D.C.
What's up with those northeastern, like New England states?
Yeah, that's.
They just don't. They're like the lefty we want our freedom people, I guess.
I don't understand, but they're all like, it's still illegal to do it, but like a lot of the criminal charges they're just sort of being discussed.
They're not super concerned with it, I guess.
But this is like such new technology, and like again, AI. I thought it was like Will Smith eating spaghetti, and now they're already on this shit. So
yeah, I feel as though this has been an issue well before AI, as far as not taking these kinds of crimes seriously when they should be taken the most seriously. And I think as we know so much more about psychology and how dangerous somebody who does this kind of act is, it's like almost more dangerous than sometimes a murderer in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
That the laws are not caught up to where we need them to be for this. Because before even generating images like that, even just being caught with CSAM or being caught doing something to a kid is still kind of looked at as like, well, don't do it again.
Out a second time.
If you do that, you do it over. There's nobody who just does that one time. I'm sure that person exists, but it's very, very uncommon for that to be the case. They are generally unable to control themselves or refuse to, and don't really care. And those are the people who should be off the street. Those are the ones we should have in jail and not be giving bail to. And giving bail is this whole other thing too, because it's like,
first off,
if you're wealthy, yes, that, and also they're mostly concerned about specific things when they're giving bail, even if it's like, well, this guy's a danger to society, but the way the laws are set up, it doesn't fit the guidelines within the court system because he doesn't have a violent crime history or whatever. It's like, what is more dangerous than what he is? Like what is more dangerous? But there isn't laws on the plate right now that prevent him from getting bail, even though he's the one who should be not able to. But they said, don't you go around kids. Don't you do it.
And then he did it again.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like, if you do drugs or smoke a little bit of pot, who cares? Apparently,
our country has since the war on drugs, and it's been going great. They did a great job.
Been going great. But there is a worldwide crackdown on the use of AI and doing CSAM. So
I have this feeling, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I have a feeling it's not going to be the United States who heads that front. I think we're going to be late to it.
It's late. So yeah, let's show the article. Let's pull that up. Maybe I can pull it up and read some specifics on here because there's a lot of numbers. I don't want to get it confused. 25 arrested in
there we go.
Global hit of AI CSAM. Yep. So it's mostly in Europe and Australia. There's a big sting operation. 273 suspects identified, 25 suspects arrested, 33 house searches, 173 electronic devices seized. It's in a Danish national was arrested.
This is also the idea of like the porn brain too. It even exceeds AI stuff because for example, there was a guy, I don't have the case in front of me, but it was the U.S. just the other day, lost his job because he was sitting in an empty classroom watching porn on his phone in a middle school as a teacher, which when the kid came in and saw him, he got very defensive about like, you don't get to tell an adult what they do in a private room. And it's like, if you are so like desensitized that you need to watch pornography in the middle of the day in a middle school, you have mental problems.
Yeah.
That's not normal to do.
You can't just be among us walking around.
There's something wrong with you. If you're in a child's school in the middle of your workday and you cannot prevent yourself from watching porn,
right?
That's mental illness. That's not just like, oh, he just has a sexual urges. If you are feeling that while around, even if you're not doing anything to kids and you're not watching kids and their kids aren't in the room, if you have to do that when there's kids just like giggling passing your room and they're children, like you can't be a teacher.
No. And
also go seek help.
No, they won't. I wish we could have learned more about our mental facilities help each other out, learn how our brain functions. What does PTSD do to our brain? Before we started developing this robot that can make your nightmares or dreams come true.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, this is first, and now it's like cavemen operating a spaceship.
It's so true. Lisa Pizza, I try not to shop while at work. I know you feel guilty, or you try to like not be looking at social media too much, and this guy is just full on lunch break watching somebody get DP'd or something, with like kids' voices in the background. And I'm not even saying that dude is getting off to the kids. Like if you need to be in that place and you have to do that, there's something wrong. Like that's weird, dude. Fucking gross.
Yeah.
And also, this is another thing too. Even before AI, this was already a thing that some people would compulsively do about like fantasizing about people. This made me think of, Susan Powell's disgusting creepazoid father-in-law. We covered Susan Powell on the show. She was actually also an LDS member who was she's still technically missing, but was almost certainly annihilated, family annihilated by her troglodyte husband, who then took himself and their 2 children out eventually. And their whole family is just like a cast of goblins. But like the father-in-law and the husband, after she went missing, were all living in the same house with their 2 sons. And the police came in the house, and CPS had been there a few times. Nobody did anything. But the father-in-law was obsessed with Susan Powell, his son's wife, for years. And he had porn magazines all over the house with her face taped to the bodies, with her sons living in the house. Cops saw it. Nobody took the kids away. Which is really cool on a number of levels. But yeah, so this idea of like forcing somebody into a sex act was already a problem, like a compulsion for some people. And now we're adding technology on top of it. And it's super upsetting. Super upsetting. I think, who's going to help stop this? Like, do you think it's the companies? I feel like it's going to be some other country's going to come in with like, and try to laws, and then other people and be like, okay, I'm talking about this country, but
I don't know, because right now it's sort of like up to the creator to say whether this is AI or not.
That seems really bad.
Yeah.
But it also seems really bad that people are literally monetizing their child abuse on social media, and our country's not doing anything about it.
And if anybody knows, because I want to go to AI talks and discussions and conferences just to know what this is. I haven't found a way to put the video into a system to see if it is AI, like to even cross-check anything. It's just a big mystery.
Yeah, is that a thing that could potentially be developed?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we're going to have to do something eventually. It's already, right now we're just going off of like discerning. It's like almost like public. The way that you can tend to find out is if you just like go in and research for a minute, and then you find out, oh, this is fake.
Yeah, you just have to look and be like, the eyes were, and he wasn't breathing. But like, who's going to
like
do that?
Go to Reddit and find a bunch of people like explaining how it is AI and what it's a lot. You have to care. Like you just said, we were saying with that guy, if you're not interested in knowing whether or not it's AI right now, you're not going to know the difference. And if you don't have a curious mind about it, which a lot of people don't, it's something I have to always remember. Some people are deeply uncurious and they want to just have the answers there. And so that's perfect for AI, because there's going to be people who can provide the answers that will make them money.
Just to feed your bias.
Yeah, which, did you have another one?
That is all I have, except for a silly video at the end.
Yeah, so let's see.
There's an AI conference that's like $300. Worth it or no? What do we think in the chat? Worth it or not?
What does an AI conference mean?
It means that there's going to be a guy on stage. He's going to be like, computers, wow. And then
synergy.
They're going to
triangulate. Who's the man?
I don't know.
I feel like that's the step one.
Step one. Who is this? It's just
learn
a
the
computer.
man.
Just go through the back door. That's right, Lisa Pizza.
Is it being taught by AI, because you can't trust them?
No, you can't. Oh my God.
It's taught by a robot that's just like, don't worry about it.
Should I look it up real quick? It's on meetup.com.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
I'm curious now. Especially if you're thinking about giving $300 over.
I know, that's
in this economy.
a chunk of change, you know? I'm going to say AI. Good TV.
How do you spell it?
Yeah, artificial intelligence blockchain discussion. All right, 4.6 stars, whatever that means. 85 ratings. See, look, it's got a picture of like all these men. And they're like, scow, 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 scow. See, that's $300 right there.
There's no private info on that screen, is there?
No.
Okay.
Oh, this one's free. This is a free one. I'll do this one. Attend.
Okay, well, give me your location if you're going to do that, okay?
I did one of these meetup things for like, it was, because I just want to meet people and the whatever, and this guy was talking about some psychology of love or whatever, and like how to manifest it. And then he said, ever since I started my online spiritual guru shop a year ago, and I was like, a year ago? I don't need a new cult leader. And then I turned off my camera.
And then like a really seasoned one.
No, a year ago on his spiritual journey.
Ew.
No, I shut my laptop.
Yuck. Ew. I hate him. I don't know who he is, and I hate him so much.
My partner is in data science, and they actively attend data-focused events, and those usually have classes on AI and identification in data, as well as conversations on ethics of data and all, but I'm not sure how to attend if you're just normies and not data-focused people. Yeah, can I attend with just a pencil and be like, oh, or like a pen with like the frilly stuff on it, like Elle Woods?
Oh, like Elle Woods. Please do that.
I don't know what the hell's going on. I just want to be here.
Lex Ibex, it sounds like you would be paying $300 to be in a room with the most insufferable guys ever.
Oh, yeah.
Which sounds like somebody's getting a new husband.
Just bring deodorant. Spray it everywhere.
Your man's there.
Man.
Speaking of somebody who should be nobody's man ever, I want to just give a quick update on JP Miller. Do you guys remember him? I have to talk about him because of how much I hate him. He sucks so hard. JP Miller was a gentleman who became famous when he announced his wife's apparent unaliving on stage on the pulpit about 12 hours after it happened, and then asked everyone to leave and never talk about it again. And her name was Micah Miller. He's never been formally charged with anything. A lot of people think it is sus AF, and that there's a lot of evidence to say that he is at the very least extremely dangerous as a human being. Many other people involved as well.
Oh yeah, this is the guy at church. He was like, my wife's dead. Don't talk about it. Bye.
Yes.
And that's it.
And this was like the day it happened. He gave the entire sermon, the whole church, and then he's like, I got to tell you something, but get up and leave and never talk about it again, okay? And this is all people who knew her, like who were her friends and loved ones.
I hate that. That's like being like, I have a secret, but I can't tell you.
Got a secret, can you keep it?
Can you keep? Who's that? Is that from Cats, the musical?
No, I know it from, unfortunately, I know it from social media. I'm not sure what song that actually is.
Also, when you say Susan Powell, I keep thinking of Susan Boyle, the lady who was on the Got Talent show, who sings. She sang like really beautiful opera.
They are different.
They are different.
They're different.
It's just like Chris Haynes and this guy, your music guy, different. All right.
Chris Haynes is also not.
Oh wait,
not Mind Freak.
Oh shit,
Chris Angel.
I am 1 foot in the blue zone. I am 1 foot.
Who's Chris Haynes?
From MSNBC?
Oh, that's To Catch a Predator.
That's Chris Hayes. Everyone, Jesus Christ. I think Chris Haynes might be just somebody you made up.
Wow, somebody's a pedophile.
He was at my birthday party in the swamp. Was he there?
He's a basketball reporter.
He's a basketball. Thank you for looking that up. See?
Oh, I know how much you follow basketball. Okay, let's go to we gotta go to this guy for a second. You want to go to the Court TV? I hate him, but let's talk about him. Just because, for anybody who was following this case and is mad about him and him getting away with stuff, he's not. I'm kind of proud of his community for making his life a living hell at all times. But so now some other people have come forward accusing him of SA when they were kids. And there was already a lot of talk about him being a groomer and being, extremely physically and mentally abusive to like different women in his life. But there hadn't been a lawsuit filed, and now there's 2. I believe they're both going by Jane Doe's right now. They have come forward saying that he assaulted them years past while he was working as a teacher and a pastor at the church his father founded, his father is also
piece of
piece of work, as we said earlier.
Wouldn't he go to Turkey and do something fucked up there?
He did. Well, he did go on a mission. I forget where he went specifically, but he was accused of stuff, never faced any issues because it was an impoverished country. But so his dad is also, by every account I've ever read, really awful and really scary. So it seems like maybe John Paul grew up in that, John Paul grew up in that world. His dad's name is Reginald Wayne Miller, and he also has a ton of accusations against him. But I believe his school's called Cathedral Hall Academy. He has a school. I don't think it's any form of accredited school.
Is it $300 on meetup.com?
Yeah, it might be that. It might be what you're looking at on meetup.com. So yeah, this is very unfortunate, guys. But he was doing this apparently to other little girls. I don't even want to give these details too much, but it was involved groping and just sort of like, it wasn't even like a statutory situation, which is what happened with Micah, where she was technically not fighting it as much as she was a minor who couldn't consent. They're saying these 2 were not wanting to be touched in any way. He wasn't grooming them. He was literally assaulting them. And so now this lawsuit is now being brought up, which is great. I'm so sorry that these women went through that, but I'm glad that they decided to, against a lot of really, it's hard for a woman to come forward in any case, and the Miller family has a lot of power in that area, and so it's really brave of them to come up and do this, and also really not leaving Micah's legacy just like to fade away. This guy has to face charges eventually because he's done stuff. And another thing that's come up, yes, preacher Nepo baby, like literally Red Age Properties, that his dad started this like community, and then he was able to take that crowd of people who were already ready and listening to his father to his own church, and he had hundreds of people in that church who he controlled essentially. They were doing a lot of tithings. It wasn't like as regimented as LDS, but the church paid for, like, he owned, we talked about this in other episodes if you want to listen to it, but he owned a bar that was mostly paid out in cash, and it's pretty apparent like tithings from the church were being used to fund the bar, that kind of thing.
Ibex says, there is such a thing in the evangelical world. I knew so many people when I was growing up who were pastors or studying to be pastors because their dads were.
Yeah. I mean, it is also probably there's some genetic thing too, right? If a person already has that desire to kind of shepherd people, and I'm not saying all pastors or even family line pastors are doing it for nefarious reasons, but if you are doing it for a nefarious reason and you then are also raising a son in it, it seems like some of them might follow in that pathway, although other ones understand it's messed up and leave, so it's not an excuse. But so another weird thing about his past that's awful that is coming up to light again is JP Miller's first wife, the wife that he left to be with Micah. She's been trying to get charges against him forever for different things because he also has done stuff to her. And now in a filing, she's trying to get sole custody of the children that they share because he still has partial custody of these kids through all of this, which is so traumatic.
Even though it was kind of, is it proven that he killed her?
No, he's never been charged with it. So like ultimately, like legally, he hasn't done anything wrong, even though she's been making statements since they filed for divorce about horrible stuff he did. But I guess, he might have some power there. I don't know. But so she now wants full custody. And so she's bringing up a lot of other shady stuff. This is a Daily Mail article. I apologize for it being the Daily Mail, but it's been covered by also reputable sources. This is just the most recent article I found. But so one of his other mistresses, because JP Miller's had multiple mistresses, her husband was a quadriplegic. He was hit by a car and he was wheelchair bound. And after JP Miller started having an affair with his wife, this was in 2021. Yes, in 2021. One day, this man's name was Chris Skinner. He fell into a pool and drowned by allegedly accident, but there is a lot of stuff to suggest that he could have played a part in him falling into the pool and dying. So that is something that is being brought up in this new, now her filing for full custody of her kids. This is being brought up again, even though that was something that was already brought up before. It's being brought up to the light again because I hope that they actually take some like criminal investigation stuff into it, because the timeline that happened, JP Miller, it's very strange, the time period when that guy fell into the pool. And also doesn't make any sense. That guy would take his chair around that pool most days. There was no reason he should have fallen in that way. But imagine dying like that.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, you can't. Oh my God.
Look at that. He was also a member of JP's church, by the way, whenever JP started having an affair with this man's wife. And I don't know if she had anything to do with it too. But yeah, so he's had so many different mistresses, and this is one of them. But after they started sleeping together, this happened to this man. Imagine what that would be like when you cannot use your limbs and you drown in that way.
I hear drowning is like one of the worst ways to die, like most painful.
What a horrible, horrible way to die. And I really, really feel as though allegedly in my gut that he had something to do with that. Yeah. So that's bad news, but that was already a thing that we had a little bit known about. So the good news is that people are not letting this go. I fucking hate that man, and I am so glad everyone else hates him as much that they're not going to allow him to get away with this. And also people loved Micah, who knew her. She was a beloved person in the community. She was
very angelic. Like her voice and her videos, she just seemed like a light.
Yeah, and people have been harassing him, and I'm like not mad about it. He's already been arrested for assault once by one of he was like pushing one of the protesters that's been outside his church.
Oh God!
And
wasn't he married to another woman before Micah who looks just like Micah?
Well, yes, the woman who's filing this for sole custody of their kids, she did look just like Micah.
It was like uncanny.
Or Micah looked like her, I would say.
That's it. Yeah.
But yeah, very haunting and sad. But glad that they're holding him to the coals, because he needs to go. He's dangerous. That is a dangerous man.
It's a big fish, small pond mentality, and he's like, I'm a good old boy. I can do whatever I want, but like laws apply to you.
Eventually, like when it gets to like wider spread, it's the same with the Murdoch case that was so fascinating to cover. They ran their community and they got away with fucking awful ass crimes until it became national news, and people on the outside were like, who are these people? Like, why are they acting like they're king shit of fuck mountain? Nobody cares about you outside of your borough, your zip code where you rule the school. It's like embarrassing. It's like the kids who can't get past high school, like their glory days in high school, and they're just constantly thinking about that time they threw the
biggest
field goal. What's a football
goal? Yeah.
Touchdown! I was looking at, I'm sorry, the one man in the room as if you should know sports.
I didn't know what you were going for there.
No, that's me being sexist.
Yeah, that is.
Did you play sports?
Yeah.
Nice.
Which sports did you play, James?
I played baseball in high school.
Cool.
I was terrible.
But it's still good to play. You're in team camaraderie, you work out, get out in the sun a little bit. It's good for you. Let us know if you played sports in the chat. I don't play them now, but I think it's good to get outside, be with people.
I hate sports.
You hate it, but you're the most athletic person I know, but you hate sports.
Thanks. Well, I dance, you know.
Is it the team thing?
Yeah, I find them bored. There's no pizzazz, you know? Like, I grew up in the dance world, and, like, I just want to, like, costumes and, like, fireworks and light shows and stuff. And I don't know. It's boring. I get bored.
Yeah,
that's on me. It's not the fault of the sport. It's like I got overstimulated really young, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, there's no like, I want to see a storyline. Like, give me like a drama in the middle of the game.
We could do football players with sequins.
They don't do it. I guess they don't want my view. Okay, so before we have to go, we have to leave because No Dogs is coming on after us, which is awesome. I want to have at least a few minutes where I hate on Elon Musk every episode because he deserves it. And I just wanted to really quickly touch base about his lottery that he's doing in Wisconsin. If you want to pull that up, the Reuters article. You guys probably have seen this. Musk gives away 2 $1 million checks to Wisconsin voters in high-profile judicial race. So what is happening there is a man who is not an American buying votes in our elections. And he is not being stopped. They tried to stop him from doing it, and the court system declined to stop it. I don't know why or how that's possible, but I guess he found whatever loophole he needed to. Also, I guess laws don't really matter anymore. Like, they kind of just don't. I guess we never like put into concept the idea that the people who are running the country would just be like, no.
Right. I guess that is a takeaway from this administration is if you want to do something, you can just go take it and do it. Who's going to stop you? Democrats? What are they going to wear pink to the Supreme Court?
Yeah, they'll show you how mad they are.
Oh, we're wearing pink today. So yeah, I guess just whatever you want, just go take it.
So yeah, billionaire Elon Musk handed out $1 million checks to 2 voters in Wisconsin and promised smaller payments to others who helped elect a conservative candidate to the state's top court in a closely watched election. Are we just... everybody thinks this is cool and normal and everybody thinks like that's fine to do?
Well, I think if we're discussing like things like what you see and algorithms and your opinion on the world, like you're being shown this news article because you're left leaning. Some people that are more right wing or center, they're not going to see this article. Or if they do, it's going to have a spin on it and they're not going to see some of the key details.
How do you spin this? Like I did watch, there was some very funny footage of people spinning the Signalgate thing, like some of the Fox News spins.
Oh, they were like, it was these angry Democrats.
Everybody has mistext somebody.
Yeah.
It was Jesse Waters, maybe. It was just like, we've all accidentally texted somebody. Oh, what a flub.
Yeah.
That, and then I know one of them was saying something about, I think I forget who said it. It was like, his number got sucked in. You know how that happens sometimes when you're on a private chat and a number gets sucked in?
Just gets sucked in. It's like, like a current in the ocean. So yeah, they're getting things misrepresented or spun or just not even shown to them. But this is obviously just paying for votes, which is legal.
He literally says, Musk said he would also pay supporters $20 for every vote they recruit over the next 2 days.
Can I take the 20 and vote Democrat? And just be like, yeah.
I mean, technically, I guess, but the people who are willing to forego any form of like morality are most likely not going to be voting Democrat. You know what I mean? Like the people who are already on team whatever this is are the ones who are going to be like listening to him and doing this shit that he's asking for.
Yeah, because this isn't even Republican. This is like something else.
It's king behavior. I mean, like this is it. Like this is the end of it. This is the end. If this is how we're going to be running elections now, we're done. Like you understand that, right? Even if you support this party, buying vote, like literally openly, proudly on stage buying votes, saying, I'll pay you if you vote this way.
Wow. Well, I can't wait to pray to our new Lord Johnson & Johnson.
We are, it's not far off, dude. Like, seriously, like, how are people not fucking terrified? Okay, the last thing I wanted to end on, I really wanted to show you how and why him having this much money, like, obviously this is showing you why having this much money is pure evil, but I wanted to show you a visual that helps you understand what the difference is between $1 million and $100 million and then $1 billion. This is something, the website's called engaging-data.com, and it's how rich Elon Musk is. Do you want to pop me over to my screen? Oop. He's trying to get us to not look.
Oh, that's like the Sound of Freedom in the movie theaters when they're like, it's the air conditioning is crashing because they don't want us to see it. I was like, I think you just have a movie theater like in the desert where everything crashes. Like,
you want to try again?
Yeah, you ready?
Yeah. So this is a great visual. I know some of you are listening, so this is not helpful to you, but if you want to go check this site out while I'm talking, it might help you. So you can see in this screen that this pixel here is representing $4,000. As you move along the screen, it's like a scroll screen. It's showing you what the median income looks like in image in pixels. It's a little tiny, teeny baby circle. And then we show what $1 million looks like. It's a bigger square. It's still very small. So it looks like a planet in the middle of a solar system. And then we show the average estimated lifetime earnings of college graduates, which is already chef's kiss, $1 million more for men, but still tiny little squares. And here we go. The 1%ers, here's $11 million. That's the net worth of the 1%. And it's a bigger square, but it's still very comparably small to the screen, right? This square next to it represents the 0.1%. So that means somebody who has a net worth of $43 million. And it, bigger square, still comparable to the rest of the screen, is very, very small. Here's $100 million. Now, this is like a pillar, very skinny pillar. It's still just a little tiny percentage of the screen, right? $100 million. This is more than anyone needs on Earth to survive or have like a thriving life. If you had $10 million, there's literally nothing else you could ever need money for ever again. Like, you could live off of that for the rest of your life. So let's show what his money looks like. Remember this green pillar right here, right? I'm going to show you what his $1 billion looks like, comparable in the same gauging.
That's a big thing. That's a big thing.
I'm still going.
It keeps going.
Still happening.
Wait, that's all one big block.
Yeah. Right now we're at 13% of his income.
And so this isn't a shade to rich people. Of course, if you have an idea and you work hard, make money. But if you have this much money, he's buying votes.
Still scrolling.
He's buying presidents.
Still scrolling. I'm scrolling very quickly also, by the way. We are at 50% of his income, still scrolling. Still scrolling. Still scrolling. Here we are at 67%, still scrolling. Still going, 75% of it. We're at 261 billion. We're going and we're going. Still going. Still going. Still going. Still going. Still going. Here we go. We are coming to the end. It is 75 screens wide. $100 million was a sliver that you could look at on one screen in the very middle of it. Looked like a little pillar in the middle of one screen. His wealth is 75 screens of pixels. Do you understand the difference? $100 million is an unimaginable amount of money for most people, us included. It looks like a little skinny little noodle, and his wealth takes up 75 screens of pixels. They're using I really recommend you go check this out. And this is a little outdated because this came out in 2023. He actually has more money now. So about 90% of his wealth, it is the annual salary of over 3 million nurses in this country. 3 million nurses' salaries. If you keep going through, they do really good comparisons. This is the square right here. This is a software developer's lifetime salary in pixels compared to his wealth. And $284 billion is the total annual salary of over 2 million software developers and programmers. So this amount of his wealth, not even his full wealth, 2 million separate software developer salaries combined. He has more than that. Do you understand how fucking evil that is? You don't get this rich from being smart. You don't get this rich from being lucky. You don't get this rich from being talented. You only get this rich by being a thief. And now he is stealing literally our country. Stealing. He bought our country with this amount of money.
Yeah, you can buy whatever you want.
So do with that information what you will.
Yep. So
I'm not saying to do anything.
Yeah.
But if you felt like it, you know.
If you felt like it. Thanks for the suds, DJ Spicy Hands and Red Age Prop. Thank you so much for the subscriptions. Yeah, that is absolutely infuriating. Sorry, I kind of cut you off.
Be angry.
Coming out.
No Dogs is coming. They're going to be talking about fun music.
Fun music. Should we play a silly video on the way out?
Yeah, let's pop out, and that can be the end. Bye.
All right, so I've been getting a lot of comments telling me to do a book talk per. And I don't know what that even means. So I got my boys here together. We're going to give our best.
Wait, do I know any of these guys?
At a book talk per. And you tell us in the comments which one you think nailed it the best.
Yeah, because we do the conventions. Let me see. Hang on. These are all characters from our books, though, Amber.
Thank you. All right.
Strong.
Still rolling.
I got to follow that up.
Very smooth. Good.
Noise.
Good.
Thanks.
Good.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, I don't know any of these.
This is so funny.
No! Oh my God, by the cauldron.
This is so much lore of books that you don't understand.
I have no idea what's going on. I just thought it was
I
funny
love
for
that
Natalie.
you see that and you're like,
Natalie.
there's like 5 levels of dweebdom in that one. I'm a Reese girl, if anybody's asking.
Oh my God. Thanks, guys. Love you.